The PNG Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative National Secretariat recently welcomed officials from the International EITI into the country. The officials' visit to the country marking the beginning of the validation process for PNG's candidacy to the EITI. According to EITI Validation Manager Alex Gordy, their visit is purposely to measure the compliance of the PNG EITI in respect to the international standards.
You have this global standard, but every country is different. And at the very core of the EITI are two principles. One is this multi-stakeholder oversight, because of course all three of those groups, government, industry, and civil society, have a seat at the table. But it's also country ownership. Because every country is different, of course they are expected to make progress towards the same minimum requirements, but the EITI standard is flexible enough to adapt to the local circumstances.
The fact-finding mission by the EITI validation team is the beginning of the process, with the final report to go before the board of the International EITI for deliberation. The EITI is hopeful that PNG's validation results will be made known in the final quarter of this year.
This is not a pass-fail kind of compliance exercise. It's important to note that. The standard covers the entire value chain of the upstream extractive industries, and so it would simply not make sense to say, you passed or failed across the board, if that makes sense. So you have a disaggregated assessment of progress, and there's really four types of scenarios. A country can have been assessed as having made no progress, inadequate progress, meaningful progress, or satisfactory progress.
Since the announcement of PNG's candidacy to the EITI, the National Secretariat has been working to compile annual reports for PNG. These reports aim to track revenue streams from the country's mining, oil and gas sector. So far, reports for years 2013, 2014, 2015 and 2016 have been published. According to head of the PNG EITI Secretariat, Lucas Alkan, compiling these reports have become easier over time as stakeholders acknowledge the importance of transparency and accountability within these sectors, especially in regards to national and sub-national payments.
There was nothing in this sector, information at all. And I think for a country, we should be very appreciative of what we have produced. And we have started to compile information that we have never had it before.
Whilst PNG awaits the final results from this validation exercise, there is optimism that the efforts of the PNG EITI will go a long way in promoting further transparency and accountability within the lucrative mining, oil and gas sectors.
For me as a person, I am keen to, and I have been pushing to make sure that with EITI coming in as a platform, that we start compiling some of this information for the good of the investors, for the country, for the government, and for everybody, so that we bring some transparency and accountability in a sector that has been driving this country in terms of government revenue.